come again. Oh! Why? Why you always do it at work? Why? Why you always do it at work?
You don't even know what I'm doing!
Why you always do it at work? Why? Mamma mia, pasacatilla!
You have no idea what I'm doing! You'll never know what this means when I do this!
Okay, what did I just watch? You'll find yourself asking that question over and over watching Justin Roiland's older cartoons and skits. His brand of humor can come off as completely weird and wholly random, but I find myself inexplicably drawn to the stuff, and laughing at more than just the absurdity of it all. Beneath the deformed and grotesque facade, Roiland's formula for making seemingly random humor is actually pretty smart.
Thank you so much! It's my Hollywood dream!
To understand Roiland's style, I think it's best to start at his Channel 101 era material, and not his most recent work on Rick and Morty. It's here we can observe his style without the admittedly very good, constant push from Dan Harmon to make the story as important as the joke. Channel 101 was a film festival started way back in 2001 by Dan Harmon and his friend Rob Schrab, where anyone could submit a 5-minute video on tape that acted as a pilot for a show. Justin and his friends created a boatload of cartoons for it, with some familiar faces and many that were never seen again. Roiland became good at quickly pumping out animated and live-action clips to send off to Channel 101. What flowed from this don't think too hard about it and just make something production schedule was a bunch of broken and half-baked characters. But rule number 1 of Justin's joke writing is that flaws are good. Roiland's voices for his characters are well known for their improv-like delivery. The way they stumble over their words and repeat themselves is more intentional than Roiland just getting drunk and then recording though, I think.
So if you're able to, I highly recommend that you just guzzle down a cup.
The way Roiland's characters talk sounds like they're coming up with what they're saying while they're saying it.
We really don't see eye to eye, do we?
Combine that with the way they continue to repeat lines over and over as if they need more time to come up with something else to say, and then a funny line has the opportunity to continue to get a stupid spin on it again and again.
Oh, Jerry, please don't hurt me! Oh, Jerry, that was the wrong brain nugget! Oh, Jerry, please don't be mad at me! Oh, Jerry, I realize I made a mistake! Oh, Jerry, I'm really sorry!
Which fits with the unpolished nature of the dialogue, but also weirdly endears us to their sloppy construction. The second rule of Roiland's joke making is to use the premise as the punchline. The way the punchline of a joke normally works is by breaking your expectations. The premise of a joke makes you think the joke story will go one way before the joke teller flips the idea on its head. Roiland, however, challenges the idea that the joke happens in the punchline. What if the premise alone could be the joke? This idea is seen in the opening moments of Roiland's sketch series The Mountain, which starts 5 years in the future from a tragedy that is repeatedly referenced in the episode.
I never thought I'd see your face around the mountain, not after what happened 5 years ago.
That was 5 years ago, Janet. 5 years!
Sometimes he even abandons a premise entirely, opting to tell a simple joke over and over until you're unsure if it's gotten old. There's hardly any setup to this bit about two brothers named Reggie, other than the fact that they keep announcing that they are both named Reggie.
Me and my friend Reggie are both named Reggie. We are new in town, and I want us both to try Brain Nugget.
We're both named Reggie, and I'm not too sure about this Reggie. I've never had a brain nugget before.
Another important aspect of this rule is to develop the premise way past its logical conclusion. House of Cosby's was the series that gave Roiland some notoriety during the Channel 101 era, and its intro encapsulates this approach to ridiculous but self-serious premise formation, as the lyrics explain in perfectly rational detail how and why a House of Cosby's exists.
He spent 10 long years and built a cloning machine, and now he's accomplished his wonderful dream.
The first episode of House of Cosby's could have continued past this opening theme and taken the presence of a house full of Bill Cosbys for granted, but instead it leans into that premise and expands on it in a sci-fi way. Sometimes his humor may merely look crude, but I think Roiland relishes in developing characters that you would never expect to exist. Rule number 3 is to make radically, unbelievably real characters. Look at his more modern creation, Mr. Poopy Butthole. The great thing about Mr. Poopy Butthole isn't only his name, or his appearance, or his shrill voice. It's the fact that he has a family, and is dependent on pain meds, and was deeply emotionally wounded when Beth forgot him. When you mix an insane premise for a character with a fleshed out existence, you get funny results. The off-the-wall, ridiculous characters that Roiland created didn't impress everyone who saw his work on Channel 101. What I love about Roiland's humor, though, is that even though every joke doesn't land with me, the direct and raw expression of the characters is refreshing and original. When you hear Mr. Meeseek's voice, would you be surprised to learn that Roiland spawned the idea while rolling around on the ground in the Rick and Morty writers' room shouting, "I'm Mr. Meeseeks"? That lunacy is so much fun to see, and I love that Roiland embraces it so hard to the point that he even lets us in on the fun sometimes, putting in laughs occasionally from his recording into the material.
It's just called Two Brothers.
It's easy to get this brand of humor wrong. There's a long line of failed Adult Swim cartoons that don't quite follow the Roiland randomness rules, that instead rely too hard on shock factor and sheer stupidity alone to generate a laugh. But when you make your characters as hilariously broken, improvisationally natural sounding, funny in their premise, and unnecessarily complex and fleshed out like Roiland, you've achieved something special. So yeah, basically I'm just starved waiting for season 4 of Rick and Morty. Please send help. I had a lot of fun making this video, getting to go back through a ton of Roiland Channel 101 material. Let me know in the comments if I'm not alone in thinking some of this stuff is really funny. Anyway, until next time, nerds.